The third-ranked Texas A&M Aggies travel to Death Valley at night, 7:30 Eastern time on ABC. Texas A&M has not won in Death Valley in over 30 years. That's wild when you really think about it, especially knowing that these two teams have played a lot in the last 12 since Texas A&M got into the league. They are undefeated, but they've only played one true road game this year against a legit contender, and that was against Notre Dame. This nighttime environment of Tiger Stadium will be probably their most intense test to date by a decent margin. No disrespect to Arkansas. That's no disrespect to Notre Dame. Nighttime in Death Valley, anyone that's been there knows I don't need to explain it. It's madhouse. So this has been an unbelievable start to the season for A&M. They're 7-0, best start since 1994. They're navigating a schedule that included a monumental win against Notre Dame, and they've had some gritty SEC wins. And then LSU on the other side, it's been a turbulent season for them. They've had some high highs, they've had some low lows. They're now 5-2. A really impressive season opening win at Clemson, but nobody now at this point is looking at that win the exact same. Had a good win against Florida. Well, that win doesn't look the same as well. You lose to Ole Miss, you lose to Vanderbilt. This has got to have it mode for Brian Kelly. This has got to have it mode for the LSU Tigers. Marcel Reed comes into Tiger Stadium playing really good football. We've already known he's a tremendous athlete. I think he's become a better passer. I think his weapons are better on the outside, and he's demonstrating a level of comfort in this offense that we didn't see at times last year. He just feels like he's playing better football kind of across the board. And then for Garrett Nussmeier, it's been a regression from what we saw last year. He hasn't been healthy. Hopefully he will be moving forward, but he has to play his best football. The offensive line's been a challenge, but the receivers are not. He's got to be better if they're going to pull this upset. Question number 1. Will Marcel Reed's mobility create problems for LSU's defense? Now, we know about Marcel Reed, and we know what type of challenge it is to keep him contained. And we also know that the kryptonite for LSU's defense up to this point has been a quarterback that can break you down with his legs. Now, Reed is a tremendous dual threat weapon. Is one of the most productive passers in the conference. He's got 15 touchdowns through 7 games, thrown for nearly 1,800 yards. But his ability to create explosive plays with his legs transforms how you want to defend a guy with this level of productivity. He's got 240 on the ground. He's got 4 touchdowns on the ground, but he's not a quarterback who necessarily scrambles when plays break down. He's an integral part of this rushing attack, and that directly targets what's been the Achilles heel built. Diego Pavia ran for 86 yards and a couple touchdowns, but he also escaped pressure constantly, kept drives alive, and was able to find outlets when the pass rush didn't get home. Same can be said about Ole Miss's quarterback. It's been a bit systemic. This is an aggressive group. This is a blitz-heavy group. They have got to finish when they arrive at the quarterback in a matchup like this. Question 2, can Garrett Nussmeier find a rhythm? In a game like this game has a very big challenge. Now, you look at the numbers statistically, it's been pretty good. Over 1,600 yards, 11 touchdowns, but the offense in general has been pretty inconsistent. They're averaging just over 25 points a game. Really cohesiveness, they haven't really had a lot of rhythm. And the loss to Vanderbilt, for example, they were outrushed nearly 240 yards to 100. And the line's inability to generate any push in the run game has made the offense occasionally one-dimensional, occasionally predictable, and the struggles in pass protection have put a lot of pressure in the country in sacks. They have an elite edge rusher in Cassius Howell. That guy can take over the game. And this Aggies run defense, which is back, that's not Nussmeier. And what Arkansas did led to Texas A&M's defense misfitting a lot of runs in the run game. And while that might be a crack in the foundation, this is not the matchup in which the misfits would be a real problem. Because with Taylor Green at quarterback, you're not getting that same type of threat from Garrett Nussmeier in the run game. So completely different defensive game plan that probably won't be overly aggressive up front, and they kind of just will force you to beat them along the line of scrimmage, which will be challenging for the LSU offense. Question 4, how will LSU handle these Texas A&M wide receivers? Now, I think this is one of the most underrated duos in the country. I feel like I'm telling you this every single week with Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion. I think they could present the stiffest test of the season for an LSU pass defense that's been really solid on paper. This will probably be the best weapons that they've seen so far as the 1-2 punch is concerned. And this matchup becomes back. I know Mansour Delane can, but can the other side step up and play at a high level? Because playing against A&M requires not 1, but 2 great corners with great cover skills throughout the course of the game. Question 5, can LSU somehow win on third down? Because the Aggies defense, they're top 2 in the country when it comes to opponents' third down conversion percentage. They allow just over 22% of their attempts to be converted. And in the first 3 SEC games, that dominance was on complete display. They allowed just 2 for 33 in the first 3 games against SEC competition. So LSU, I think, has to find some rhythm, has to find some conversions so that defense can somehow wear down. Because that defense constantly getting off the field, it's going to be hard for LSU to manufacture a lot offensively. And then question number 6, how committed to the run will Texas A&M be? Look, Texas A&M was dealt pretty significant blow. When Le'Veon Moss gets banged up, Moss has been outstanding, very powerful runner. And last year, he got banged up against South Carolina, was out for the season, and the run game fell off a little bit down the stretch. But in his versatile skill set to that position, we'll see exactly how committed they can be to the run against what is a desperate defense that has to play at a high level. I'm taking the upset here. I'm going to be honest with you. I shouldn't. It doesn't feel good. It's an insane thing to do. Because right now, there's not a lot to feel good about with LSU. I'm going to be honest with you. There's not a lot to love about what they're doing offensively. I just think this is their last gasp. I think this is a group that will force a couple turnovers, and they're just going to find a way to win this game. I think it's LSU's defense that will win this game for them. Because I don't trust their offense, but I'm taking the Bayou Bengals in desperation mode to get a win against an undefeated top 3 Aggie team in Death Valley.